During World War II, courageous women joined the French resistance to fight against Nazi occupation. These women defied expectations by smuggling intelligence, sabotaging supply lines, and transporting weapons, often carrying coded messages hidden in clothes or baked into loaves of bread. Figures like Lucy Aubrac, who orchestrated daring rescue missions, and Geneviève de Gaulle, who endured Ravensbrück concentration camp, became symbols of defiance and hope.
Geneviève de Gaulle Antonius.
Geneviève, you were at Ravensbrück inmate number 271372. Were you aware of the SNCF? Not at all. You know, I had many comrades who were involved in resistance actions, either through some people or, for example, in an even more useful way. I had a comrade whom we called Grandma Marguerite. Marguerite Hain, because of her name and position, she knew everything. She passed it on to the resistance.
My father decided, okay, the invasion is going to come very soon. So let's just leave Cannes because of the bombardments. And we'll go into the Basse-Alpes, the bottom of the Alps, and we'll stay there until it's over and the Allied invasion has taken place. So that's what we did. We went to the Basse-Alpes in a little place called Beauvaisis. One day, on one of my forays, I saw a young man coming out of a bush, really, and he was about my age, or maybe a little older, and he had a gun slung over his shoulder. Well, I knew who he was, of course. So naturally, I was 16, he must have been 17 or 18, we started to talk. He told me what he was doing. I knew that already, and he should have told me anyway. And then I told him that where I was at the hotel, that we had a nurse and we had a doctor. Oh, he said, you have a doctor and a nurse? Well, we have some wounded, and we would love to be able to get to them to help us. So I tried to arrange something between them, brought some wounded, and came to be really kind of an infirmary of a sort, and we put mattresses on the floor, and the doctor and the nurse did what they could with what they had. This went on for some time. Here we were, one day, we heard that the Germans were coming. So I ran to the infirmary, where I had been volunteering all this time with the doctor and the nurse. And fortunately for me, they had taught me a few things like making a dressing, moving a dressing, just whatever I could, I learned with them. Came back to my mother, to the room, and I told her that I was going with them. So that didn't sit very well, as you can imagine. And she tried to keep me and cried and so forth. The infirmary took a great big bag and put everything I could in the bag. And then a truck came to pick up the van, the van from the infirmary, and I just went with them. So I went back with Dr. Bechtel, and this is when I got my formal papers, and I got my ID of the FFI, and I got my armband of the FFI, which is now in the museum, as a matter of fact. So I went on like this for a while until we decided to go back to Paris, and that was really the end of my extent with the resistance.
Their efforts not only helped liberate France, but also shattered stereotypes, inspiring future generations to remember their resilience.